Agent, have Isaac scan the parts.
Hello everyone, this is Pornold here for another The Division 2 build video. So what we have for you today is one of the new gear sets that we get for this Title Update 10, which is the Eclipse Protocol. So I'll be going through what my build is and how I wanted to build it. So let's get right to it. So first up, Specializations. I went with the Survivalist, mainly because I wanted to access the incendiary grenades to add the array of status effect that I have, as well as the this one, the crunch time, which gains 10% skill haste when in cover. And then you have all the usual ones. I have the rifle, assault rifle and LMG on this one. And now we go on to the build. So I'm using a 4-piece Eclipse Protocol gear set. So let's see the bonuses that we get when using these pieces. First up, so 2-piece gives you plus 15% status effect, 3 pieces gives you 15% skill haste and 30% hazard protection, and the 4-piece gives you this indirect transmission, so your status effects now spreads on kill to all enemies within 15 meters and refreshes 50% of the duration. So if you guys don't know how big 15 meters are, it's basically one room. So if you're, let's say, having combat in federal bunker, so that's a fairly small mission, and most of the enemies within your line of sight would be affected by this one. So let's get right to the weapons first. So I'm using the Everlasting Gaze named rifle with 50% rifle damage, 17% critical hit damage. I have a low attribute on that one, so 4.5% stability, but I'm using this for the perfect perpetuation, which gives you 50% status effect damage and durations for the next status effect you apply when you're hitting headshots, and that has a cooldown of 16 seconds. I have this secondary weapon as well, the military P416. I have 15% assault rifle damage, 18.5% health damage, and 10.5% magazine size with the talent Insync. So you can use any secondary weapon you want, but I'm having fun using this new talent that we got in Title Update 10, which is Instinct. So hitting an enemy grants 15% skill damage for 5 seconds, and using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants plus 15% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So with the skills I'm using, you can proc this one every now and then. So that's almost 30% damage for both your skills and your weapons. So that's a huge gain from using this weapon. Although I mostly use the Everlasting Gaze when in combat. The pistol, this is my go-to pistol. The D50 with Vindictive, so killing an enemy with a status effect applied grants you and all allies 15 meters with 15% critical hit chance and 15% critical hit damage for 20 seconds. So this syncs with all the status effects that we're having. So this is a great utility buff for your teammates. Now we go on to the gear pieces. So I'm using the biohazard mask, my first Eclipse Protocol piece. So I have rolled status effect on this one, and the Eclipse Protocol always comes with a skill tier, so it's easy to stack up skill tiers using this build. So I'm also using the chest piece for this one. So the chest piece I've rerolled to 10% status effect. I'm also using 11.5% skill haste on this, and the talent for the chest piece is proliferation. So increase the indirect transmission range from 15 meters to 20 meters, and refresh percentage from 50% to 75%. So that 5-meter increase and 25% increase is a huge difference. You'll be seeing all your status effects spreading to all the enemies, and for longer as well because of the 75% refresh. And then next up, I'm using the Imperial Dynasty exotic. So as you all know, this always comes with status effect and hazard protection, and it has a talent Dragon's Glare. So while in combat, applies burn to the enemy closest to you within 20 meters. So it synchronizes well with the range of the status effect from the Eclipse Protocol, and then this is an instant application of the status effect, so it really synchronizes with this one, and it helps you spread burn damage to all your enemies really easily. And then what we have for the backpack is the China Light named item, which is the strategic alignment, and this comes with 12% skill haste and 9.5% status effect with an 11.5% skill haste. And what I have for the talent is perfect shock and awe. So applying a status effect to an enemy increases total skill damage and repair by 20%. So I'm gearing more into trying to increase the skill damage of my skills, the damage of my skills. But an alternative for this one is either you can use the this one, the Anarchist Cookbook. So I have this one rolled with skill haste and status effect, and I've re-rolled the core attribute because Golan always comes with an armor core attribute, so I've re-rolled that to a skill tier, and it comes with perfectly wicked, so applying a status effect increases total weapon damage by 18% for 27 seconds. So you can either use this one or the China Light that I've been showing, but I think I'm gearing more into this one because I'd like hiding in cover and just supporting most of the time. And then next up, so this is the third piece of our gear set, which is the medical grade tack gloves. So it comes with 1 skill tier and 10% status effect. And for the last one, the knee pads, so I've re-rolled that to 10% status effect as well. And for the skills, so I'm using the burn sticky bomb, which applies burn status effect on affected targets. So the cooldown for this is 18.4 seconds and the duration is 10.7 seconds. So that's fairly good duration. 10 seconds is enough to kill one red enemy. And the core skill of this build is the Riot Foam. So it's a tier 6 Riot Foam, so we have plus 5 ammo there, 300% ensnare health, 60% ensnare duration, and 30% radius. And what happens is when you Riot Foam one enemy and you kill them, it spreads to the 20-meter range that you have for the Eclipse Protocol, so that ensnares almost everyone in the map. So as long as they're within that range, so that's a really good crowd control skill we have here. And for I can suggest for this one, you can either use any of the status effect skills. So either you can use the EMP whenever you're using fighting Black Tusk, and when you kill an enemy. So you can also use a Jammer Pulse because that's a status effect as well. Firefly, The blind, I think the blinder Firefly is not that in sync with this build because you're targeting a lot of enemies. So I mean, it helps with spreading the status effect, but I think it's you can use a lot more of the other ones just to increase your damage on them. So I think burn status effect is the way to go. And then you can also use the bleed, stinger hive, and you can also use the air burst as well. So you can literally use any skill with that applies status effect, but the main skill would be the riot foam. And there you have it. This is a quick and easy build guide for the new gear set. And I'll leave you with a video of how it works, and hopefully you'll get to try this awesome set. If you like the video, do like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Also find me on Facebook Gaming, so that's Vornholt. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.